use gmond anymore. So that's kind of weird, right? Why do I have a gmond.conf on a host that we don't use gmond for anymore? Well, the reason is that if you use gmetric, for those of you who are familiar with it, it looks at your gmond.conf to figure out where to send the metrics to. So if we keep deploying a gmond.conf on here, we don't actually need the gmond daemon running, but at least all the things that we have set up already to send our gmetric data, that all just keeps working. And everything that was coming through the gmond process before for system data, that all keeps working too, because that's all coming through sflow. So those go out to our redundant gmond servers. We have multiple gmonds running on each of those, one for each cluster. And again, all that stuff is generated out of Puppet ERBs. And then for those of you familiar with Ganglia, we have our main Ganglia server, which is running gmetad, and that does polling of the gmond servers, whoever's up, and collects the metrics and writes them out to ERBs or to RRDs. And that configuration is also generated out of Puppet ERBs. And then we have sflow data going to an sflow collector. And an sflow collector is basically anything that understands sflow. So you could actually call the gmonds an sflow collector because they actually understand sflow. But like on this one, we have a parser daemon that's analyzing the sflow data as it's coming in, and we can do stuff with it. And then on the bottom right there, around 4 or 5 o'clock, we have sflow data going out into outer space. Well, why do we have data going into outer space? Well, this is kind of give you an idea that you can send data to as many different locations as you want with sflow. You can define in your hsflowd.conf a bunch of different places to send it, and the data will go to those places. It's just a UDP datagram. You're not like flooding your network with all kinds of crazy stuff. It's like that joke about UDP, like I tell you a UDP joke, but I can't guarantee that you'll get it. So you can take your data, you can send it wherever you want. If you want to send it into like a message bus, like Kafka, you can do all that. It's your data, you can do whatever you feel like. So let's get into looking at some fun graphs. So our first example is going to be HTTP, and this is really going to lay out like the idea of